in our club ever since we started, and he just is so enthusiastic about it. And I'm not sure what your job is, but I saw you at Citibank.
Yes.
So you were with Citibank. Okay. In any event, let me introduce our next speaker. The title of his talk is, get this, the tortilla. The tortilla by Mr. Gus Ramirez. Gus Ramirez, the tortilla.
Thank you, sir. It's been said that during the Aztec times they were making or attempting to make bread and made a mistake, and that bread turned into a tortilla. Did they give up? Absolutely not. They continued on and made the tortilla that we know today. So they took a mistake and turned it into something positive. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, this is the story of my tortilla. When I was 16 years old, I was working at my family's restaurant, and I wanted to buy a car so bad. But as you do in family restaurants, you never get paid. Oh, I waited tables, and I got to keep all the tips that I had while I was waiting tables, but never did I receive a salary. That's a family restaurant for you. One day I approached my dad and I said, "Dad, would you help me buy a car?" You know what he said? No. He says, "But I will tell you how you can buy one. I will help you." I said, "Great, you're going to co-sign for me." No. I said, "I don't understand." He says, looks at me and he says, "Here's what we're going to do. As you know, your mom and I have been thinking of opening up the business during Sundays. This is years ago. I'm 16 years old. So we're closed Sundays." He says, "Let's do this. If you and your uncle open up the business on Sundays and work it that day, I'll give you half the profits of that day." I said, "Okay, that sounds like a good deal. I'll do that." So we go in early mornings Sunday and prepare everything, and we're expecting a very light crowd. We've never done any advertising. As a matter of fact, in the years that we've been running the business, it's always been closed on Sundays. Nobody shows up. So we're expecting maybe a few tables here and there, a few people. But I'm expecting to make more than the maybe $15, $20 I do on tips that day. Well, at about noon, we get a large table of about 8 people. Then 5, then 10. Before you know it, we're packed with every single table in the house. Keep in mind, the restaurant fits 70 people. So every table is taken up, and the phone is ringing for takeout orders. My uncle and I are like, what the heck are we going to do? So we're doing the best we can under the circumstances. And in the meantime, the phone is ringing. We're running orders, taking drinks, whatever the case is. Long story short, I finally get a moment to pick up the phone, and my dad's on the other line. He says, "Son, how's it going?" I said, "It's horrible." I said, "We're busy. We need some help." He says, "Calm down. Relax." He says, "First thing you do is this." He says, "Take a deep breath. Relax. Take a deep breath. And when everything looks bad, dale vuelta a la tortilla." You guys heard that, right? Well, this was back then. That video is going on right now today. So it made me think of that. He says, "Dale vuelta a la tortilla." I said, "Well, thanks. That doesn't help me, but thanks anyway. I thought you was going to run over me now." That doesn't help you. I don't know. Anyway, the day ends, and so I'm trying to think of what we did. But keep in mind, we made every mistake that you can make. My uncle, who was fairly new in the kitchen, made some concoctions that I don't know what they were. I think he said it were enchiladas, but it turned out to be with flour tortillas, or weren't enchiladas. Long story short, we made some mistakes. Those mistakes are some of the menu items we have on the menu today. At the end, I was able to, after working several Sundays, I was able to save enough money to actually buy my car. But that thought always came back to me. Dale vuelta la tortilla. It's equivalent to, well, let me back up a minute. Dale vuelta la tortilla. My dad would say, when your tortilla is burning, don't let it sit there and burn. Flip it over so it doesn't burn. Don't let it keep burning. It's equivalent of when the tables, when things are going bad, turn the tables. When your computer's not working, dale vuelta la tortilla. When your car won't start, dale vuelta la tortilla. Turn the tables. Make a bad situation into a good situation. Don't dwell on your mistakes, but think about the positive things you do when you make those mistakes, on how you can make them into a good thing. As my grandfather used to say, when life gives you lemons, he says, make ceviche.